Alright boys, welcome to our camping spot today, the trenches. Here we got the silly strings, the party wagons, the fireworks, and spicy air.
Wait, we are in a jungle?
So folks report.
No, stop.
To wave the flag.
It ain't me.
Stop.
The trenches.
40 seconds, we must build the biggest f***ing trench man has ever seen.
Build the trench.
Bob the Builder World War I edition. We can do this.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Oh my god, we built a giant ass barbed wire wall. How are we gonna get through?
We don't.
Bruh. Ready your weapon, boys, they're coming.
They're coming hard.
Shut the f up.
Go, boys.
They're in the trees, they're in the trees.
They blended perfectly.
They're actually fucking Vietnamese.
Their uniform blending with the trees.
Their fucking skin color blends in with the trees.
Fucking Vietnamese Smurfs.
What's the lore of this? Why are we fighting these blue men?
Because their skin color is different.
These Smurfs. I fear that Gargamel wants them dead.
They're taking our job.
Taking our jobs, yes, exactly.
They're chanting. Boys, show them who's boss. Spam for the fatherland.
They're like, what the hell?
Morale plus 100. They probably shut their pants.
Blow that shit up.
You guys are just blowing up trees?
Yeah, without trees, they're nothing.
Without the trees, they're nothing.
This fucking trench line.
These are like the worst trenches I've ever seen. There's like gaps in them.
It's fine. Just like the French, once we have taken our enemy's position, we will appropriate their trenches.
It'll be our trenches.
Oh, it's nighttime. Guys, get in your position. I'm pretty sure they're gonna trench raid us.
We're not sleeping tonight.
You never know where these blue men are gonna pop out from.
Oh my god. Dude, their skin is so dark.
Oh my god. We're fighting against f***ing magic Viet Cong here. He's hiding in the trees!
I feel like we made too many Viet Cong jokes.
No, but he's actually in the trees!
I don't give a shit.
There's a medic! Medic!
Shoot him.
Target practice!
Shoot
Get
him.
him!
Hey,
Get him!
I'm friendly. I'm not blue.
Why aren't you blue?
Tank simply saw the armband and started blasting.
Medic is medic.
Bro, it doesn't matter which side the medic is on. Shoot him.
Alright, everyone, prepare to fire at the same time. Prepare to launch a volley of fire. Get ready? 3, 2, 1, everyone, shoot!
Fire.
Bro, we don't need machine guns, so we have the manpower.
Spray and pray.
We didn't hit a single person.
It's not about hitting someone, it's about asserting dominance. Day 1 eventually ended in a stalemate. Neither side had made any advancement despite their efforts. We were mainly on the defensive, focusing on fortifying our position for the days to come. I did some Uno reverse and led a small raid to the enemy trenches, but we had to retreat back to our position as the dawn was approaching. 196 soldiers perished on the first day of the conflict. There will be more for the days to come. Day 2 is the day we unlock the artilleries. So we were like, hey boys, you know what time it is.
Haubitzen! 12 und 24 Pfunder geriffelte Feldkanonen mit Hinterlader.
Yeah, build
Alright, continue
Oh
firing.
my god.
Oh no! Oh no!
They're gonna get it.
They're gonna become fatherless children.
Just like us. Hey, someone go and wake our enemy up, if you know what I mean.
I got you, fam.
Alarm howitzers. Nice.
Guys, they're coming from the left side where the bridge is.
Shall I deforest that area for you?
Deforest.
Get rid of the trees, man.
Everyone, aim at the left side. We're gonna do a mass deforestation. We got the equipments now.
They can no longer hide from us.
Yo, there's someone on the right. Get him.
They're trying to mask flank us.
He probably saw these artilleries and he's like, oh, we're Oh my god, I just saw that! Jesus Christ!
That just got like 10 people killed.
Destroy.
Nasza parakrawa klasnia. Слава USSR мою rodzina Чертовский член американский я мог классивью первый спутник. Первый бабушка. Первый Vladimir.
Oh, we landed on the moon first, so we win the space race.
You so
Sushi or roll dog?
Sushi.
Sushi or spring rolls?
Hey, what's up?
What's good? What the
Yo,
fuck?
can I get a spot?
What the fuck is this? Nah, bro, get that shit out of here.
What's wrong with
Get
you?
out of here. Get out!
Wait, no shoot. I'm sorry, don't shoot. And also, how the hell are you speaking? I know it's weird, but just put the gun down. I'm here to make a proposition. This is a tower defense game. What the f could you possibly want to propose? Dude, they want the zombies video. You gotta do it. Oh. Yeah, sure, why not? Wait, really? Oh, you know, just your. Get out!
The scariest plane hijackings in history. Let's just get right into it. This first plane hijacking ended with 125 passengers trapped in a sinking plane, as water slowly filled up their lungs until they couldn't breathe anymore.
The City Advantage Executive Card. The only card with Admirals Club membership elevates your travels. Earn Advantage miles and loyalty points, and enjoy premium benefits that heighten the experience. Travel on. City Advantage. Give me strength.
When life gets messy, Ronnie helps you find the strength.
Hi, I'm Kono Tanku Fishu ni wa yume ga aru. Welcome to your bizarre adventure where people punch the shit out of each other with imaginary friends and do gay poses. This game takes place in an alternate universe where Made in Heaven f***ed up the universal reset and turned everyone into funny logo men with bootleg JoJo names such as Buongiorno Brovana, Jojo Mama, and Cars. Look how they massacred my boys. Actually, Made in Heaven probably sticked the narrow up his ass and got a third Requiem, became Made in Hell and shat itself. It merged all the universes into one big cocked mess where you get to see like Dio whipping his son, then getting killed by Hanke Niju Metodo, Emurado Splashio, or Fugo actually getting screen times. Like, what the f? I am kind of obligated to give your bizarre adventure a 10 out of 10 because no matter how scuffed this game is, because of the Infinite Diavolo death loop, this can technically be considered canon. Although I'm quite disappointed that there's not a fighting style that involves German science, because it would have been very fun to shoot people with machine gun in my gut and to scream obnoxiously. Stents are those menacing humanoid, possibly homosexual beings that stand next to you when you want to beat someone to death. That's why they're called stents, because they stand next to you. No, I'm actually serious. That's why they're called stents. But we all see the problem here. Like, you know, some stents don't stand because they're objects. Huh? What the f***, Araki? Anyway, you get stents by stabbing yourself with arrows you find in the middles of nowhere. Be warned though, stabbing yourself with these arrows has a side effect of making you a little bit gay, schizophrenic, and possibly give you some random diseases like HIV. Unlike the anime, the arrow just snaps itself out of existence after you stab yourself with it. There's also an infinite supply of it, probably because God thought it was a good idea to solve overpopulation by making everyone gay. Oh yeah, you can also get stents by merging with Jesus' ribcage, and there's a lot of it. There's a lot of Jesus. How many bones does this man have? Of course, not everyone can get a stent. Only cool kids who have committed mass homicide are considered worthy enough to get one. If your stent is a disappointment, you can eat this red fruit that you also found in the middles of nowhere to get rid of it. Now, because you find it in random alleyways, rooftops, or in a ditch somewhere, this fruit will almost always give you severe diarrhea and you won't be able to stand straight for 3 days after eating it. Anyway, the skills of the stents in this game fall into these few categories. Category 1, beating the out of the other guy. Category 2, anime teleported no mai wa mushinderu. Category 3, moving so fast you can't see. Category 4, healing is kimochi. Category 5, around with time. Category 6, shooting stuff. Category 7, nigurunda you to another dimension. Category 8, making everyone fat. Category 9, dismemberment. Category 10, remote control. Category 11, let the bot do the job. Category 12, traps. Category 13, buffs and debuffs. Category 14, why are there so many categories? Oh, you know what? Category 14, everything else. It. Bye. Some stents can evolve into a steroid version of themselves. Gold Experience, King Crimson, Silver Chariot, Kira Queen, and Star Platina can evolve into the Requiem form. If you British yourself a second time with a Requiem arrow while saying Korega Requiem. Duh. After getting Requiem, Gold Experience gets a bunch of Uno reverse cards and will start giving not so gold experience to anyone attacking it. King Crimson becomes an edgy teen. Silver Chariot loses its white privilege, said f it, and just became an entirely different stand. With its newly earned end pass, it obtains the overpowered ability called Conqueror's Will. Like seriously, what the f? Nerf it, man. Kira Queen can now use his Daisen no Bakudan and start biting the dust, and Star Platina becomes sus imposter and pretend to be Zavarudo. You get Zavarudo over heaven by reading Dio's diary.
俺は弱っていた。首だけだったからな。もしジョナサン・ジョースターの肉体を奪わなかったら
And completing the diary quest, Zavarudo over heaven sold its Roda Rola in exchange for the ability to overwrite reality. You get Sea Moon by giving the gay priest Dio's diary and complete his quest and letting Whitesnake merge with Baby Yoda. Tusk is a f***ing Pokemon and to evolve it you need Jesus. To get D4C Love Train you also need Jesus, his heart specifically. Finally, to get Made in Heaven you need to get Dio's boner, And Jotaro Gun's dolphin porn collection. What? Isn't that what's in the disc? Made in Heaven is annoying and fast as f. It can make an arena match last forever. Some people just straight up leave if you have this stand because they don't want to deal with this bullshit. You also get the ability to reset the universe and make everyone crippled. Before the update, Universal Reset also gives people crippling obesity. But now Made in Heaven steals Silverchair Requiem's ability and swaps everyone's bodies. If you want to be a huge asshole, spam this. Apart from standos, you can also learn different fighting styles by paying and bringing items to these random people who are possibly homeless. Fighting styles are used to extend combos or to complement stands for that extra bit of damage. First you have boxing, where you can auto the shit out of your enemies, knock them away with the big boy punch, or poke their f***ing eyes out. You can only use your boxing abilities when you have your gloves equipped, because the devs like to cock people. Like seriously, why is it not in the toolbars? Why do I keep forgetting to drag it from my inventory to my toolbar? I have to open my inventory to get it in the middle of a fight. Why? Next there's Hamon. Use photosynthesis to charge up solar energy and unleash the power of vitamin D on your enemies. Charge up your Hamon bar and get power equivalent to that of eating a whole jar of Flintstone gummies. You got a zoom punch that extends your reach, just like zoom call that extends your... What the f***? If zoom punch doesn't work, sunlight or yellow overdrive. If sunlight or yellow overdrive doesn't work, scarlet overdrive. If scarlet or overdrive doesn't work, then you should use Nigeren Dayo. You know, I'm quite disappointed that you can't use the ultimate Hamon ability, aka Thunder Cross Split Attack. Spin is similar to Hamon. You can charge up your bar to do more damage. You can then punch with spin, throw your big balls of steel to your enemy, and harden your skin to literally have balls of steel. Use a stone mask to reject your humanity and become a vampire. Once you become a vampire, you can't go play outside during the day because the sun is a deadly laser. You become allergic to vitamin D and take more damage from Hamon. You can block sunlight with an umbrella, but you can't use your fist while holding it for obvious reasons. After becoming a vampire, you'll need to talk to the elder vampire to unlock vampirism so you can fire lasers out of your eyes, freeze people with your stinky breath, and drain other people's life because you don't have one. Filling up the blood bar gives you regen and speed buffs, and you can do it by sucking or buying it at the vampire bar. Just be careful of whose blood you're drinking because you might get hepatitis or HIV. If you want to take a sun bath, or if you're tired of getting by Hamon users, you can eat a Rokakaka fruit or find Jesus to become human again. Finally, there's sword style. While others are fighting with imaginary friends and superpowers, you have a sword. Very nice. You might as well just get Anubis with the SAO skin and stay near the station listening to Crossing Field. Fucking Starbuster stream to anyone who dares to come close to you. If you're poor and can't afford any of the fighting styles, you can just buy a bat for $150 and bonk the shit out of everyone. The main goal of this game is to make as many JoJo references as possible, but other than that, you can beat the shit out of other people. Most stands engage in glorious melee combat, but if your stand has the pilot ability, you can fight like a bitch and be an annoyance. To win, just pick an overpowered broken stand and go haywire. Find some gay-ass combo online, pray for the ping god, hope that your opponent doesn't have a stand that counters yours, and you can perfect block certain abilities and Uno reverse your opponents by stunning them. If you miss the timing, you'll be stunned instead, and if you don't block at all, you'll get shoved down like a disabled kid. When you get knocked down, your stand f***ing disappears like Josuke's dad. But unlike Josuke's dad, who Nigeren Daio'd for like 17 years, you can immediately summon it back. You can do very menacing gay poses to regain HP because JoJo poses transcend above laws and logic. To be honest, to become a true stand master of standing, you gotta be a f***ing nerd and learn everything about every stand in this game. Like the greatest stand user Sun Tzu once said, you gotta exploit other stand's weakness and abuse your stand's strength. Good stands like Gorodo Experience, Requiem can suck ass if you don't know jack shit. And stands like Zahando can literally slap people out of existence if you know what you're doing. And by that I mean knowing how to press T and Y. Actually, this stand is pretty brain dead. Actually, most stands are pretty brain dead. The The story of this game is basically part 5 but very scuffed. The main character is not Giorno but a random guy. That random guy being you and me and everybody else playing this game. After getting dragged in the shitstorm by these strange men dressed in very gay fashion, you become the mafia boss after killing the mafia boss because that's how the mafia works. You know, the story makes absolutely no sense. Like, Giorno wants to sneak past the police officer with the suitcase he stole, so you went ahead and fucking massacred all the police officers. Like, was that really necessary? Then right after you kill these 5 cops, he asks you to return the suitcase to the person he stole it from. Then why did I kill those 5 cops for then? I got murder charged for nothing. But again, no matter how scuffed this story is, because Diavolo died, this can be considered canon. After finishing the story, you'll be level 25, and from there on, you'll need to grind random quests to level up. It's recommended to go Viet Cong and stay in the sewer for the zombie kill quest until level 30, spawn kill Dio until level 35, and spawn kill Jotaro until your max level. If you're a filthy casual and can't defeat the bosses, you can always get some friends and gank the out of the boss because teamwork makes the dream work. To prevent friendly fire, you and your comrades can join a gang and become the superior, cooler rogue gangsters. Once you're max level, you can pay this guy with the protagonist hair to buy Zadusto and raise your level cap by 5. You get more experience from quests when you prestige, so it's a little bit faster to grind. The max level is 50 at prestige 3, and if you're a sweat, it's possible to speedrun it under 3 hours. Every level gives you 2 skill points that you can use to upgrade your stand, stats, and abilities. You can only get a maximum of 100 points, meaning you don't have enough to max out all of your skill trees and become the ultimate life form. Other than the level grind, you'll need to roam around the street like a homeless person and search for stand arrows and fruits to get shits that you want. You also have to grind for pieces of Jesus and kills to evolve certain stands. But honestly, compared to the other Roblox RPG, grinding in this game is like f***ing taking a piss instead of taking a shit. That was a really bad comparison. There are currently 3 game modes. The main game is where you do quests to grind XP, run around scavenging for arrows to stab yourself with, eat roca fruits to kill yourself so you can stab yourself with arrows again, murder random people, drink tea, and fight Joe for the 40th time. Colosseum is where you fight people without being able to pull the ultimate secret Joestar technique. You can either engage in glorious and honorable 1v1 or have a good 2v2 fight with your Joe bro. It is custom and good manner to yell "Shiza!" on top of your lungs when your Joe bro dies. My mom just told me to shut the fuck up. You could aim for the top 50 leaderboard, but honestly, most people are just here for Zavaludo over heaven because the reward you get from winning is shit. It's literally 50 bucks. It's not enough to even cover medical fees. Finally, Metal Ball Run is a cheap Chinese knockoff of Part 7 Steel Ball Run, a racing Fortnite battle royale. There are 2 modes, casual and competitive. Casual is for poor kids who don't have OP stance because OP stance are banned. For some reason, people are less aggressive in casual and usually won't start fights until the end. Real men play competitive like Chads and will start beating the shit out of each other the moment the race starts. The race is divided in in 6 stages. Black. Wait, that's not it. Yeah, I'm too lazy to explain this shit. It's basically a horse race where people can beat each other up with stands. Except the end of the 5th stage, where only 7 people can survive. Here, people can either go full-on Fortnite Battle Royale, have a f***ing 1v1 tournament arc, or find some random guys that act sus and gank the shit out of him, which is what happens most of the time. This is the great filter where only the popular cool kids can survive. If you have Joe Bros, you will have a better chance to survive because people wouldn't dare to f with you when your Joe Bros got your back. Once you have made into the cool kids club, congrats, now you have to race through the New York Bridge. Be warned though, this is America. People's got guns. They will not hesitate to shoot you to knock you off your horse. In casual mode, here's where most of the saddest anime betrayals happen because only one person gets to get a piece of Jesus. Some fake Joe Bros will not hesitate to shoot you in the back. In competitive mode, however, the top 3 all gets a piece of Jesus. So it's recommended to only get 2 Joe Bros because any more than that you have to deal with Zeus Imposter Amogus. The top 3 in competitive mode also get cosmetics, cold hard cash, and horse feed to buy better horses. Now that you have overpowered stance and max level, all you can do is walk around menacingly and bully people. Most of the game passes are for endgame players, so if you're filthy rich and have extra Bobucks to burn, you know, feel free to purchase. You can buy stand slots so you can add more stands to your fine collection, or switch stand and fighting style to counter someone and beat his ass. You can also collect cosmetics by playing Steel Ball Run and cosplay as your favorite JoJo characters such as Speedo-Wagon. Even after the millionth game, the Devil's Palm will still give you PTSD with the obnoxious ReZero sound effect that goes like that damages both your character and your mental health. You can also test your luck in arcade only to realize that, yeah, you're getting scammed pretty hard there. If you're an intellectual, you can collect Stando Guro Furandos such as Zavardo but with a vagina, D4C but with a vagina, King Crimson but with a vagina, and Megumin but with FBI.
going to jail!
These skins, unlike other f***ing garbage, have the special ability of attracting simps that will give you free shits or freeze people in battle because they're either too busy admiring the thickness of these creatures or too busy bleaching their eyes out. You know, I never really understood why Roblox porn exists, but now I might. This enlightened me. My people.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a story about a certain family and their struggles with a certain vampire and his minions. The implications of this series affect a universal scale, and in most cases, JoJo is often a serious series. But with all of those poses, the ridiculous amounts of blood and scenes, it's hard to take it seriously all the time. So in that spirit, why don't I give you a quick rundown of everything in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series in a totally serious and totally comprehensive video about the main JoJo universe. Get enough people to watch the video, and I just might do one for the other universe too. Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you're subscribed, and with that out of the way, let's get into it. Time immemorial. People start existing. These people are in two different groups. There's the people who walk in the sunlight and live for very short periods of time. Then there's the Aztec vampires. Those are exactly as they sound, except they can also turn to stone. Due to this, we imaginatively call them pillar men, because they can turn into pillars and stuff. The ability to turn to stone is both a way of resting as well as a defense mechanism to the sun that they cannot walk around in. The pillar men eat the humans, and the humans, I guess, just didn't have a way to fight back because Hamon wasn't invented yet. Also, breathing is a JoJo reference. Now that you know, you can't unknow it. Welcome to the fandom. Due to the pillar men and women reaching near physical perfection, their birth rates start to fall off, and few pillar men are born after this. 100,000 8,000 BC. One of those few pillar men that gets born is named Kars. Kars hates being a pillar man, but loves it at the same time. He doesn't like being stuck living only at nighttime, and also thinks that the pillar men gene pool isn't dried up and they just need to learn to evolve. What does Kars want to evolve into? Everything. So he makes a stone mask that will awaken the latent evolutionary potential within him, but he forgets that his skull is thick and it only just pokes him in the scalp. Somehow, this still awakens some latent potential, and somehow Kars evolves to have metal knives stuck in his arms. He develops a light mode. He also discovers that by making humans wear the mask, it awakens their potential too, as it can get through their soft little skulls. It turns them into weaker imitations of pillar men that are called vampires. Despite this, they can still make zombies and cool down areas around them, leading to powers that most pillar men aren't displayed to have. Cool. Most of the pillar men are skeptical about this new form Kars has achieved, as it requires him to eat more humans than before not to die of starvation. Despite this, another pillar man named AC/DC is interested and goes and gets his scalp massaged by the magic mask and gets a heat mode, which disturbingly allows his fingernails and toenails to bend back and let blood vessels come out and squirt boiling hot blood at people. He also, for some reason, sews up his abs because I guess he likes looking like a tennis shoe. Also, the other pillar men attack Kars and AC/DC. It's either because they're eating too many humans or because AC/DC's powers disturb them as
It's time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and move forward. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
with a sunlight yellow overdrive, which supposedly kills him, but actually, it doesn't. Jonathan thinks everything is great and decides to marry Erina and goes on a Disney cruise to America with her, but uh-oh, that isn't Mickey Mouse, that's a soulless zombie. Turns out Dio is also on a honeymoon to America, but only he's there with Wang Chan and decides he wants Jonathan's body more than Erina does. After an epic battle with more zombies, Dio uses his laser eyes to stop Jonathan from breathing. The ship is totaled though, and Erina takes the baby she found with her named Lisa Lisa and jumps into a coffin that Dio, after taking Jonathan's body, also somehow manages to get in without anyone knowing. Erina is rescued though, and before Dio can follow her, he gets his casket sunk for the next century. 20th century. Turns out Erina was pregnant with a baby herself and names the baby George Joestar II. She raises the adopted Lisa Lisa beside him, and he ends up going the route of Sweet Home Alabama on us and marries Lisa Lisa. Well, maybe it doesn't entirely count as Sweet Home Alabama, but the point remains. He marries his sister. He ends up getting her pregnant as World War I starts and George joins the military. He gets eaten by his commanding officer, who is a surviving vampire from the era of Dio. Lisa Lisa destroys the officer but gets accused of murder when someone sees her do it. She leaves baby Joseph Joestar with Erina and goes out to get some Italian milk. Erina raises Joseph, and Speedwagon stays close to them when he moves to America as well and somehow becomes a rich oil tycoon. At one point in time, Joseph Joestar is on a plane with Speedwagon when it gets hijacked and crashes. Joseph crashing planes becomes a bit of a running gag. Never fly in a plane with Joseph Joestar. Speedwagon then meets up with Straits, the last surviving member of the crew they killed Dio with, and heads to Mexico when they heard that there might have been some more stone masks there. They find them, but uh-oh, Straits is insane and becomes a vampire. He wounds Speedwagon and throws him in a river. Speedwagon survives, but uh-oh, it's the 1930s and the Germans are becoming evil, and also they're in Mexico too. He gets captured by the Germans, who declare that their science is superior. I guess it kinda was, considering they made a cyborg in the 30s, but that comes later. Straits goes to kill Joseph Joestar since he's so good at Hamon breathing despite never having been taught. He underestimates Joseph's skills, as somehow Joseph is carrying around a Tommy gun and grenades, which he's not afraid to use to light up a little bar like some mafioso. In the end, he defeats Straits, who would rather kill himself than be killed by Joseph, so he uses Hamon breathing as a vampire and basically self-destructs. Joseph goes to Mexico to rescue Speedwagon and ends up finding Santana was captured by the Germans as well, who are trying to wake him up. They sadly succeed, and Santana uses his Jello mode to escape and attack the command center. Joseph tries to play games with Santana, but Santana isn't having it and kills everyone but von Stroheim, Joseph, and Speedwagon. Von Stroheim has his body infiltrated by the Jello Aztec and tries blowing himself up with a grenade. Joseph then uses the power of the sun to defeat Santana, leaving him as a rock, which is then kept by the Speedwagon Foundation. Joseph eventually goes to Italy, where he is to meet with somebody because the Pillarmen are in Italy and about to wake up. He meets Caesar and then discovers the Pillarmen, Cars, AC/DC, and WAMU. WAMU says, "Awaken my masters," and the kick-ass song of the same name plays as they pose. Joseph then receives a wedding ring that doesn't go on his finger by AC/DC and WAMU. One ring goes around his throat and the other goes around his heart. They give him 30 days to become a strong warrior or the rings will kill him. Joseph panics and is taken to train with Lisa Lisa by Caesar, where he watches his mother bathe while saying, "Nice." I guess Sweet Home Alabama is hereditary. During their training though, AC/DC can't wait to fight Joseph, so he shows up early and amazingly gets his butt handed to him. For a while, AC/DC survives as a brain, but when the sun rises, he gets the opposite of a brain freeze. He's sunburned on his neurons. Bro dies. After this, they head to Switzerland because Lisa Lisa mailed the red stone of Asia she had there to protect it from AC/DC. But Cars knows about it and goes there too, where we see von Stroheim has survived, being reconstructed as a cyborg because, as I said earlier, German science is the best. Joseph manages to get the stone first, causing Cars to flee, but in the end he and WAMU hole up in an abandoned hotel. Caesar, being stubborn because his family name was impugned by the Pillarmen earlier, decides to go alone and gets himself killed. But he offers Joseph a blood bubble that has his final Hamon and WAMU's lip ring in it, which has the antidote to the poison left in him by the wedding rings from earlier. Joseph takes these things, but doesn't drink the antidote, saying he'll wait until he beats WAMU fair and square. They end up finding WAMU and AC/DC, but decide that instead of brawling then and there, they would instead make a spectacle of it in a conveniently placed coliseum nearby. While there, Joseph and WAMU have a chariot race and Joseph wins. Cars, though, turns out to be less honorable than his minions and just tries to take the stone from Lisa Lisa, wounding her in the process and using her as a tool against Joseph. Bro uses the stone to power his mask, which he then uses to become the ultimate life form. As the ultimate life form, Cars can walk in the sun and can transform into anything on Earth. However, this will make him starve even quicker to the point that he threatens to end all life on Earth. So Joseph steals a plane and lures him to a volcano where Cars pretty much humiliates Joseph. But Joseph shows that he stole the redstone of Aja when Cars wasn't looking, and when Cars tries to use a Hamon strike on Joseph, he strikes the stone instead, increasing the power of the blast into a super laser which pierces through Joseph's hand and into the volcano, causing it to kick both of them into the air. Joseph falls to safety, but Cars gets launched into space. Meanwhile, everyone is so sad because Joseph is dead, but he's actually still alive, and his new wife, Susie Q, who he met training in Italy, forgot to send the letter. After this, Joseph becomes a fairly successful real estate agent where he has 2 kids. Holy Joestar, who is his daughter through Susie Q, and Josuke Higashikata, who he has illegitimately with a woman half his age because he's actually a real bastard. During this time, Jotaro Kujo is also born, and he becomes suddenly possessed by an evil spirit, prompting Joseph to visit him. Speaking of which, we're now in the era of Stardust Crusaders. Yeah, this is where things really pick up because stands are superior to Hamon anyway. In the year 1984, a fishing boat discovers a casket, and Dio, who now spells his name in all caps for some reason, wakes up and eats everyone on board. 2 years later, while in Egypt, Diavolo, while part of an archaeological team, discovers arrows forged from a meteorite that fell in Greenland so many years earlier. These arrows can awaken stands, and he sells them to the witch Enyaba, who tells him what they can do. He keeps one arrow and awakens King Crimson with it, eventually creating a mafioso group a few years later. Enyaba brings Dio the stand arrows and she's like, stab yourself with this, and Dio's like, okay. And thus, Zawarudo is born. Doing this though awakens all of the Joestar family line stands too, including Holy Joestar and little Josuke, both of who are too weak for it and start dying. Around this time, Dio starts learning how to achieve heaven, as if you could do such a thing, and makes a soon-to-be Catholic priest join a cult. He teaches said priest about gravity and heaven, and then gives him a tow, just in case. At some point during this time, it's a heavy snowstorm in Morio, and Josuke's mom gets the car stuck. A certain pompadoured boy shows up in the snow to help her. He looks just like a teenage Josuke, but is likely just a scrapped arc idea from Araki, probably from the Bites the Dust arc of part 4, but in the end, I guess he is canonically just a guy who looks like Josuke. Josuke fashions his whole look after the guy and awakens his stand, Crazy Diamond. Elsewhere, Jotaro, Joseph, Avdol, and Kakyoin decide to play a game of Where's Zawaldo and go to Egypt to kick Dio's butt. Along the way, they fight many villains and recruit Polnareff and Iggy. They make it to Egypt after some long travels and find Dio's mansion, but Avdol and Iggy get killed by another gay vampire named Vanilla Ice, who Polnareff only barely manages to defeat. Polnareff, Jotaro, Kakyoin, and Joseph face Dio, but Dio's stand has the power to stop time, and he uses it to kill Kakyoin and Joseph. Jotaro gets so mad that he plot armors all over the place and literally just steals Dio's whole ability and kills him with it in the most unsatisfying way imaginable. But because we all love Joseph Joestar, Jotaro uses Dio's blood to bring Joseph back to life. Somehow though, Joseph doesn't turn into a zombie or a vampire, though he psychs us out with it, playing a joke that only raised more questions than answers. They all then head their own ways. Eventually, Polnareff goes to Italy to find the person who had the last stand arrow and instead gets his lunch eaten by King Crimson, who thinks he's killed Polnareff but actually didn't. Jotaro at some point reads Dio's diary, because what greater shame can you put on your enemy than reading their diary? Dear Diary, today Jenny G and Jenny R said that my stando Zawaldo is too tacky because it's gold. They said that gold is a weak metal and would get me killed one day, but I told them to step off. Then I headed out with Poochie to get a smoothie at the place down the street where I gave him my first bone. It was such a magical moment. We're BFFs now. Jotaro, unable to handle anymore, burns the diary. 1999, a very bizarre summer. You know what Jotaro does after defeating Dio? He does what any sensible man does and becomes a marine biologist. Meanwhile, Josuke is in high school and Yoshikage Kira is getting boners from looking at the Mona Lisa. Josuke's mom is hot, a direct quote from Okuyasu, and his grandpa is a police officer who gets killed by a serial killer with a water stand. Jotaro shows up to recruit Josuke, and the two defeat this serial killer named Angelo, whom they fuse with a rock, creating the landmark Angelo Stone. There's a bunch of one-off adventures as people keep playing past the stand era, which eventually leads us to Yoshikage Kira, who just wants to live a quiet life where he can murder chicks for their hands. He kills Shigechi, which causes all of his friends to rage. Turns out Shigechi's friends were all the main characters, so Kira is screwed. They eventually find Kira, who in a moment of panic gets stabbed by the stand arrow a second time and awakens a new ability for his stand, which allows him to rewind time up to an hour if anyone who has the stand ability cast on them tells them his name. He casts this ability on a boy who discovers his identity and then follows the boy around because he can't help but flaunt this newfound ability over him. During this time though, Kira stupidly reveals his own identity, which Josuke hears, and because Kira said it himself, the ability doesn't count, and Josuke beats his butt. After a long battle, Kira confesses his love of hands to a paramedic and gets run over by an ambulance where he gets taken by hands ironically to a place where boners are impossible. 21st century. Giorno Giovanna is one of the many illegitimate sons of Dio. He's bullied and treated like crap by his adoptive father, but after this befriends the mafia and gets a good life, pretty much. One day his hair just turns gold and he develops a stand, Gold Experience. He also carries around a picture of Dio in his wallet, which I only assume he stole from his mom. Running around, Koichi from the last part is sent to Italy by Jotaro to look for Giorno. He finds him, of course, but then becomes a background character that is almost never talked about again. Giorno ends up killing Leaky Eye Luca, or Leaky Eye Luca kills himself in a technicality, and Bruno, who had just gotten back from dealing with a stand user whose stand could predict the future, encounters Giorno Giovanna where he licks him to taste the lying salt of his face. Giorno beats Bruno in a battle and convinces Bruno to be his best friend instead and to betray the mafia. As it turns out, they both hate drugs, and the boss of Passion, Diavolo, is pushing him. So Giorno goes to Polpo to be recruited, is recruited, and kills Polpo with a banana. They then proceed to find Polpo's treasure to get the position of capo, which is basically captain for Bruno so they can get close to the boss. This works better than expected when the boss himself sends them to escort his daughter to him, which they do. However, before they can betray Diavolo, Diavolo betrays them and tries to kill his own daughter, who then joins Team Bucciarati in tracking down her father. During his fight with Diavolo, Bucciarati dies and then undies because reasons. They begin searching for Diavolo's past, which takes them to a small island called Sardinia. This results in the death of Abbacchio, our favorite goth police mafioso. They're contacted by Polnareff, who tells them that he can beat Diavolo with a stand arrow, so they go to a coliseum after fighting a dude made of mold and a guy who swims in dirt. When they get there though, Diavolo also has made it, trying to get that arrow. What's so different about this arrow, you may ask? Well, I don't know, it has a beetle on it and gives your stand a stand, basically. Silver Chariot gets pricked by it and becomes Chariot Requiem and starts switching bodies around. Bruno becomes Diavolo, Diavolo becomes Mista, Giorno becomes Narancia, Mista becomes Trish, Narancia becomes Giorno, Trish also becomes Mista, Bruno's original body is dead, and Polnareff becomes a turtle. During this whole thing, Diavolo plus Trish purposely accidentally kill Narancia in Giorno's body, and Giorno then becomes Giorno again after fixing his own body. Turtle Polnareff tries to take the stand arrow from Chariot Requiem, but Chariot Requiem decides today is a good day to piss off PETA and attacks Turtle Polnareff. Mista, Trish plus Diavolo kill Chariot Requiem by destroying the hidden beach ball behind their head, and then Bruno finishes it off, returning everyone to their bodies except that Bruno's body is dead, so he goes to heaven instead. Polnareff doesn't return to his body because his body is dead, but because the turtle he switched with died with his body, Polnareff gets to stay a turtle as long as he wants. Diavolo tries to stab himself with the arrow, hoping to get a Requiem stand too. Do you remember that episode of SpongeBob where they're in a forest and Squidward keeps asking the magic conch shell if he can have something to eat? Yeah, that entire scene is basically how this is going for Diavolo, Polnareff, and Giorno. Giorno gets the arrow and receives Gold Experience Requiem, the most mysterious and powerful stand in all of JoJo. I don't care what Araki says. Star Platinum's time stop isn't beating Gold Experience Requiem's causality manipulation, especially since GER displayed he can move when there is no time, let alone when time is stopped. But I digress. Gold Experience Requiem decides that death is too good for Diavolo, so he curses him with immortality instead, but makes him live only in the situations where he would normally get killed, creating an endless death loop because Giorno is just as sadistic as his dad, I guess. Giorno then becomes boss of the mafia and makes a turtle his captain, so cool. 10 years later, a gay priest conspires to send an innocent woman to jail.
Ziggy is allergic to grass. Thankfully, Chewy Pharmacy sends refills automatically through AutoShip. That means when allergy meds are running low, there's no need to panic. You know what's already at your door. And if you need to change anything, you can. Easy. Plus, get 35% off your first AutoShip order at Chewy Pharmacy.
Transformers 1 has released in theaters, so it's time to rank the 9 theatrical Transformers films on this tier list. And I'm gonna start with the very first Transformers movie. I was originally unsure if I was going to rank Transformers the movie or not. I have never seen the original Transformers cartoon, so I really considered skipping this one. But this movie did play in theaters, so I felt like I kinda had to rank it. And I'm really glad I did, because I'm pleasantly surprised. I found myself really enjoying a lot of what this film has to offer. First and foremost, the animation and action scenes are insane. The animation is so fluent and lively and really brings these robots to life. And a ton of the action scenes go incredibly hard. The Decepticon assault on Autobot City is a really impressive set piece. Every action scene with the Dinobots is also awesome. I seriously love those guys. And the final fight with the Autobots against Unicron is appropriately epic. But really the greatest action scene of the film is when Optimus Prime rolls into battle to fight Megatron. Everything about this is perfect. Their actual fight, the emotional tension, the music choice. You Got the Touch is an inspired needle drop. And
My name is Cumpet Peas.
Did you know it's made with coffee milk? It's sweet and creamy, by the way. Chocolate!
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah!
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
You got the power. Yeah!
Calling all Autobots. Calling all Autobots. Autobots, roll out!
After all is said and done, you never walk, you never run, you're aware.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. You're a persistent little Autobot. My name is Optimus Prime!
Optimus, who? You got the power. When all hell's breaking loose, you'll be right in the eye of the storm. You got the heart. You got the motion. You know that when things get too tough.
What was that you always used to say, Glenn? Oh, that's right. Transform and roll out.
You never bend, you never break. You seem to know just what it takes. You're a fighter. It's in the blood, it's in the will, it's in the mighty hands of steel. When you're standing your ground, and you never get it.
Future of our is not worth a single human life. You'll never stop at one.
You got the power. When all hell's breaking loose, you'll be right in the eye of the storm. You got the heart.
Megatron. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
You got the power. Yeah!
Calling all Autobots. Calling all Autobots. Autobots, roll out!
After all is said and done, you never walk, you never run, you're aware.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. You're a persistent little Autobot. My name is Optimus Prime!
Optimus, who? You got the power. When all hell's breaking loose, you'll be right in the eye of the storm. You got the heart. You got the motion. You know that when things get too tough.
Was that your origin, Chicken? Oh, that's right. Transform and roll out. He shoots, he scores, what a star! Watch out, Spike! I'm driving for a layoff!
It's called a layup, Prime, and watch out for tracks!
Uh-oh! Sounds like it's time for a maintenance check, Trax. Absolutely, Prime, but I'm having a... He shoots, he scores, what a star! Watch out, Spike! I'm driving for a layoff!
It's called a layup, Prime, and watch out for...
Uh-oh! Sounds like it's time... Scores, what a star! Watch out, Spike! I'm driving for a layoff!
It's called a layup, Prime, and watch out for tracks!
Uh-oh! Sounds like it's time for a maintenance check, Trax. Absolutely, Prime, but I'm having a... Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
You got the power!
Calling all Autobots! Calling all Autobots! Autobots, roll out!
After all is said and done, you've never walked, you've never run, you're a winner!
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your dice so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. You're a persistent little Autobot. My name is Optimus Prime!
Optimus, who? You got the power! When all hell's breaking loose, you'll be right in the eye of the storm. You got the heart. You got the motion. You know that when things get too tough, you got...
Was that your origin, Chicken? Oh, that's right. Transform and roll out.
You never bend, you never break. You seem to know just what it takes. You're a fighter. It's in the blood, it's in the will, it's in the mighty hands of steel. When you're standing your ground, and you never get hit.
Future of Arlie is not worth a single human life. You'll never stop at one.
You got the power. When all hell's breaking loose, you'll be right in the eye of the storm. You got the heart.
Megatron.
You know that when things get too
Be gone.
you got the touch.
Hurry! I said cut me loose! No!
You might if I win.
Oswald.
You know you got that touch.
Rita. Don't run.
Chris Hemsworth may not have been every Transformers fan's first choice for Optimus Prime, but there was one important